Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this movement up back in my can. Put the big around the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World.
You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, C Major. At power forward, I'll be. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five.
As we both take in the spectacle and all that is Raw on Netflix, which is weird, sitting there watching it going, wow, this is really happening on Netflix. This is crazy. But nevertheless, that's your man, Chad Major, right there. I'm Lloyd Spence. This is the Five. And this is 2025, and we got a lot of surprises in store for you guys. It's going to be a great, great year. We can't wait to unveil all of this stuff. But some of it is still unveiling, though. Still unveiling. So it's going to take some time. But y'all going to be happy with all the changes and the good things that are taking place. So shout out. But anyway, before we get started with anything, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to our brother, Killer Cam.
Yes, sir.
Who is with his family tonight, and rightfully so. And that's all we're going to say about that. And we with you, brother. Love you. Appreciate you. But this it's probably good that you're not here tonight, because tonight is the Champions Night. Champions only. Tonight, if you won a fantasy football championship, raise your hand in the air. Wave you like you just don't care. To celebrate our 20th seasons in our leagues, the league did something special for us this year. And we got rings this year. So shout out to, I don't know if y'all can see that. I might be too close with it. But we got championship rings this year.
Yeah.
So that's cool, having a fantasy championship ring. And it's not about the ring. It's about the bragging rights. Bragging rights. We got these beautiful championship rings for the leagues we won. And so there you go. All right. So
hey, we got more rings right now than the Giants and the Cowboys recently. So I think we doing good as owners and GMs at this point.
Yeah, I want to throw shade on that, but I can't because it's true. I got a ring before the Cowboys. You're 1,000% correct. I got a ring before my Giants did, even though they have more rings collectively than I have. But I got more rings. I got a ring more recent than they did. So,
but who's counting? Who's counting though?
It don't really matter. But it's a Champions Night, so we just want to come in here and give y'all some love or whatever. But we got a great show for you. C Major, how you feeling tonight, man? You good?
Feeling good, man. But it's cold outside.
It's cold outside, ridiculously cold, brother.
It's
ridiculously cold all across the country. Please, wherever you are, stay warm. It is crazy cold out there right now. So
please pay your energy bills.
Pay your energy bills. And also, if you need to run that water. Don't let them pipes freeze, yo.
But then you got a whole nother set of problems. You don't want them kind of problems. So there you go.
Definitely did that. Definitely did that.
Run that water, man. Yeah, that bill gonna be a little high, but you're gonna appreciate it when you got water every day. So
exactly.
There you go. All right. We're gonna start actually, man, with some breaking news. This is Black Monday. And really, Black Monday came before Black Monday. Like a lot of the firings that went down had already went down, like Matt Eberflus and Coach Saleh and the coach at the coach of the Saints. I don't even remember his name. He wasn't there long enough for me to remember his name.
Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen.
Who is it? Dennis Allen. Okay. But the two Black Monday firings so far have been Gerard Mayo and Doug Peterson, and then a few coordinators like Lou Anarumo is probably the most notable firing. But a lot of people got fired, brother. But today might be more about who didn't get fired. Surprisingly, to a lot of people, not to me, but to a lot of people, the Giants keeping their coach and GM was shocking to a lot of people. The Jacksonville Jaguars keeping their GM was shocking to a lot of people. Antonio Pierce not being fired yet is shocking to a lot of people. Mike McCarthy not being fired yet is shocking to a lot of people. Though the clock is ticking on Mike McCarthy because his contract technically is up on the 14th, technically. Yeah. So we'll see how that works out. But
there is a team that has inquired about Mike McCarthy, though.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start there. I was going to say, what are your thoughts on all the firing? But we can start with Mike McCarthy. What's up?
I've heard the Chicago Bears want permission to speak with Mike McCarthy.
Really?
And the Cowboys have not answered yet.
And to that, I would say,
Damn.
Let me just say this, and I mean this with the greatest respect. And let me look right in the camera when I say this. If the Chicago Bears hire Mike McCarthy to fix their coaching issues, then they deserve whatever comes along with that.
I think it's going to be Dallas Cowboys light. At this point, you got a black quarterback, Dak Prescott-esque, if you will. I think it's.
I would argue that he's not as good as Dak. He's not as good as Dak Prescott.
Well, Dak Prescott is not as good as Dak Prescott, but.
Why do you hate him so? He's your quarterback.
I didn't choose him.
Not here, T.O. That's my quarterback.
I didn't choose him, but I was married. I got married, and arranged marriage. It was arranged marriage. I didn't choose him.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, the one person I would kind of say is kind of got the short end of the stick is Jerod Mayo.
Well. I don't even know if you can call that the short end of the stick. I'm not even sure he was even handled the stick. Like,
twig.
Fired 1 year into your tenure,
yeah.
And now we know why. If you've been paying attention to the whole thing, we now know why. Because Mike Vrabel has been interviewing everywhere, and it looks like a lot of teams may want Mike Vrabel. He looks like the top hiring candidate out there right now, and if that is the case,
but I'm saying if you had a chance to get Jerod Mayo and Mike Vrabel was out there already, why you shouldn't have went ahead?
Well, but Mike Vrabel wasn't. They didn't know Mike Vrabel was going to be available when they hired Jerod Mayo last year, so they kind of jumped the gun.
Yeah,
and hired Jerod Mayo first, which, by the way, Jerod was Bill Belichick's recommendation. So I get it. Yeah. But it kind of sucks that you didn't even get a man a chance to unpack his boxes and get any of the players that he really wanted.
It's terrible.
before he could ever even try to build a team, you let him go because of the guy you think is better.
Yeah, and you got your high draft pick, so he could have got his guy this year and see how the year would have panned out.
I mean, I think listen, let's just keep it all the way a buck. Since we're here, let's just go all the way there. To me, this is just to me, Lloyd. Y'all can feel how you feel about it. I think it's wrong to keep hiring black coaches and not giving them a real opportunity to be able to put their imprint on a team. And he is definitely not being allowed to put his imprint on his team. He didn't even get a chance. I'm not even sure he took his gloves off so he could touch the team. Like, it's so crazy to me that he got fired that fast. But it's the way of the world. And Robert Kraft can say whatever he says. I think one of the things he said in the statement was, I just felt so bad that I had to fire him. No, you didn't. You know how I know you didn't feel bad? Because you fired him.
Yeah, I think he just hired him based off of Belichick, and he was going to see how the season went, and then if it was going to go bad, then you did what you need to do.
But it was going to go bad, Chad. It was going to go bad. There was no way for it not to go bad. He didn't have the players coming into the season. There's not a person on this planet that thought that the New England Patriots was going to the Super Bowl this year. And if you did, you didn't live outside of Boston, and you probably are on drugs.
Well, not the Super Bowl. Maybe at least make a playoff berth.
No, you weren't doing none of that this year. None of that this year. None of those things were going to happen this year. Sorry. So the fact that you didn't give him the time to try to figure it out is insulting to me, bro. I'm just saying, just tell me what your thoughts are real quick.
I think that I think it was a sympathy hire or a favor. I don't think that was his guy at all, who probably he wanted. And so I think that he hired him based off of Belichick's wishes, and he owed Belichick that, I guess. But Mayo, I mean, he's gonna have a job because he's gonna probably go to UNC and be on Belichick's staff. So I think that's at least he'll bounce back at least on that, I think.
Well, I hope he does, but I just think it sucks. That ain't cool, man. So but I'm sure he'll bounce back. Now, the one that wasn't surprising at all was Doug Peterson. That he got fired wasn't surprising. That they kept the GM was a little surprising. Like the GM was as much responsible for them losses as Doug was. So I don't know, but I don't know what you're supposed to do in these situations. And here's the irony of me talking out both sides of my neck right now. I'm just being honest. I'm going to tell you that. Like, here's the truth. I didn't have as much problem with not firing Daboll and Joe Schoen as a lot of Giants fans have. And I get the Giants fans that are upset. It would not have bothered me had they fired Daboll and Joe Schoen. I just don't think they deserve to be fired. And somebody's saying, but Lloyd, did you see the season? The way they quit? They lost to the Eagles yesterday. First of all, Giants fans, you can't have it both ways. You can't want the top pick in the draft and want them to win the game too. Stop it. Choose. Halfway through the season, first of all, before the season started, we always knew that we needed a new quarterback. We've known that we've needed a new quarterback for the longest time. So what are you talking about? The owner, John Mara, put Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen in an impossible situation when the day he hired them and he did the press conference, he said, and I quote, "We've done as much to screw this kid up as we possibly can." And so the fact that they kept Daniel Jones and were forced basically to work with him and try to make that situation work. And by the way, Brian Daboll did make it work. Got them to the playoffs with a subpar quarterback. Got him to the playoffs in his first year and got a playoff win with a subpar, with a quarterback that we all knew was subpar. We all knew it. So what's frustrating to me about that is why are we penalizing Brian Daboll and Joe Shane? Now, the Saquon Barkley thing, I'll stall you out on that. That looks bad.
Very bad.
It looks bad. It looks bad. The Xavier McKinney thing, it looks bad. Both of them having Pro Bowl years. It looks bad. It looks like Joe don't know what he's doing. Now, the only way it cannot look bad is if the people that he is replaced him with next year look better. And by the way, Drew Phillips, the cornerback that replaced Xavier McKinney, had a great rookie season. Malik Neighbors is the truth. Tracy is awesome. Tyrone Tracy's name, I think his name, right?
Yes,
is awesome. He is an awesome running back. So they've hit on some stuff, and they got some pieces now that work. I'm actually a little ahead of myself here on this. So let me stop talking because that's question number 2. But my point is, I don't have a problem with them letting them run it back one time to finish doing what they set out to do. That was my point.
Yeah.
As far as everybody else that got fired, sounds about right.
Yeah, my thing is I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do because they had like a couple wins in a row, and then that kind of rallied the guys to maybe want to keep McCarthy. So it can go either way. I mean, I kind of want some new, fresh thinking in the locker room and new schemes. So I think they're going to probably run it back though. Yeah,
it looks like they are. To me, all the signs point to that. So we'll get to that in a minute. Again, that's question number 2. So we'll get to that in a minute. But we got to get to question number 1. Question number 1 is what we just witnessed, people. We just witnessed an incredible NFL season, a very unbelievable climactic game last night, one that I'm sure we were both surprised about. We'll talk about that in a minute. Mm-hmm. But now that the year is over, who was your best? Who was your worst? Who was your surprise in the NFC and AFC for the year, Chad?
For the year, I had the Broncos being my surprise.
Hold on. Let's do NFC first. Well, let's do AFC since you're already there. Let's do AFC. I
was looking at it. I was like, So, Let's
go to AFC. We're in AFC.
So my surprise was the Broncos having a well-seasoned Bo Nix that you drafted. I guess Sean Payton always needed his guy. And so, Drew Brees was his guy. Russell Wilson was not his guy. So he drafted his guy, and it paid off for them. And, they're definitely, got a bright future with him and, that coaching staff. So my best, got to give it to the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar and Henry, that combination, you can, run, you can pass. It's just like it's kind of unstoppable. So I think they have had the best performance this season. My worst, which I expected more from them, and I don't know if I'm going to stall them out a little bit because of the injuries, but the Dolphins.
Oh, okay. Wow, you went much different route than I was going. Okay.
Yeah, because of I was kind of want to stall them out because of Tua and his injuries and. The injuries to, some of the impact players. But I think with that team that, everybody wanted to see what they can do with Tyreek Hill and, Waddle and, those guys, Achane, I think they should have been better than what they were. So I'm going to give it to, the Dolphins at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, I definitely went a different route on a couple of these. But my best, we totally agree. I think it's the Ravens. This is my honest opinion on that. I think this is the Ravens to lose. They have, to me, the most complete top to bottom offense in the AFC. And as much as people want to say, "Oh man, the Ravens are set up in a perfect situation last year. They should have won it." No, they weren't, because their running game was never consistent last year, and everything was on Lamar. This year, it's actually as balanced as I've ever seen it, and with Derrick Henry, who fit into their team perfectly. I mean, you could not have asked for a better. And by the way, almost rushed for 2,000 yards in his own right.
Yeah.
Like crazy that he got that close. Yeah. I think it was like 1961 or something crazy like that.
Very
but yeah, it's crazy. But the Ravens are set up to make the run to the Super Bowl better than, because they can, what they do travels and works at home. So they are in position to make the run. And I think they're the best in the AFC. And if they're playing like they play, I don't think you can beat them. My worst is a shared trophy this year. It is Robert Kraft and Aaron Rodgers. Robert Kraft for his impatience and Aaron Rodgers for his arrogance.
It's good. Good choice.
Both were kind of disgusting to me this year. But Aaron Rodgers by far is my worst. Like, and I don't even know if I'm mad at Aaron Rodgers. I've had time to think about this, Chad. I think I'm more mad at Aaron Rodgers for being delusional than I am being arrogant. Because he really thought he could just step back in and do what he do and get back in and everything will be fine. And no, brother, you are 40. Bro, I'm 50 and I got to sit on the side of the bed for a few more minutes.
Well, hey, he thought he was the football LeBron James.
Listen, and I appreciate the confidence, but Father Time is undefeated, and you are his latest victim.
I think it was just probably messed up that he brought Davante Adams in the mix, and now he's on another sucky team.
Well, let me say this. Davante's a grown man. He made his life choices, and here we are. So, man, you didn't have to. There are many. Trust me, there were a lot of other teams that wanted Davante Adams. You chose this one.
Yeah.
Trying to rekindle the fire. It ain't good to go back to your ex sometimes. She's your ex for a reason.
That's a toxic relationship.
I'm just saying it was toxic when you left her. Why would you go back? So anyway.
Yeah.
Or you left him. I don't want to be, gender biased. Like if if it's a girl, you left him. So I got it. And then my surprise is also shared. It's the Chiefs, but also Josh Allen. I remember, I'm old enough to remember the steal line for Mike Greenberg. I'm old enough to remember when we said that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills weren't going to be this good this year. Because they lost Stephon Diggs, and they lost Gabe Davis, and they lost so many pieces. And all Josh Allen did was go and perform in an incredibly high level, possibly the MVP of the league. Not that he outplayed Lamar, but just because there's probably Lamar fatigue. And so he's probably going to win it on that alone. Josh Allen has played phenomenal. But also, the Chiefs have not played phenomenal. And yet, they are 15-2. And really, they're 16-1.
Yeah.
Really. They handed the Broncos a gift yesterday. And mainly because I think they said, if we got to face somebody in the playoffs, let's face the Broncos.
Yeah.
Because if the Broncos happen to slip past the Bills or whoever slips in that, we'd rather play them as opposed to playing the Bengals. So, I get it. I completely get it. But yeah, the Chiefs have not looked great for 17 weeks, and yet they are the number one seed. They are in prime position, and all roads to the Super Bowl lead through Arrowhead.
Well, I think that also in the playoffs, though, you have to be playing your best ball, though. So that could hurt them, though, if they're facing the Baltimores and possibly the Cincinnatis that can, give them a run for their money. So they need to be careful with that.
Well, their last two games, they looked better. I will say that. The last two games of the season that they actually played, they looked better. And so it will be interesting to see how they transition off the bye week, losing a little bit of momentum, but we'll see how they come out. And we'll see who their opponent is. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. But, boy, they have surprised me tremendously because every week I'm thinking, this is the week. This is the week. And they have found a way to win every week. And same thing with Josh Allen. I'm like, well, surely he can't sustain this. He doesn't have the talent, but he made the talent work. What he had, he made it work. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Let me ask you a question.
I will say this before we get into it. I'm very curious about the matchup they have this weekend because they got the Broncos, and you said Bo Nix has played great. I would say he's played sufficiently. As a rookie, he's played sufficiently. But what I will also say, that defense has played great. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that defense as it relates to that offense. And can the Broncos muster enough offense to complement their defense to pull off the upset?
Well, we always know that defense wins championships. So all Knicks has to do is just not lose the game for them, and the defense.
Well, that's where I disagree. I think he has to make some plays.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's got to make some plays.
That encompasses just not losing.
But I agree with you in that he can't be throwing interceptions. He can't be throwing
exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. But no, he's got it. But it's going to be interesting to see. Because I think I don't think this is going to be as high scoring game as a lot of people think it's going to be. They're favored by 8, and I think 8 is a baiting number, a Vegas baiting number. I don't think it's going to be that high. I think we're talking about maybe a field goal, maybe a touchdown, maybe a field goal. But I don't think it's going to be the blowout. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
I got a question for you. I got a question for you though. So we're talking about the Chiefs. Their matchup would either be the Texans or the Steelers. Do any one of those teams?
No, that's not true. If they get the lowest seed, so if somehow the Broncos were able to pull this off,
okay, so they get the Broncos. Okay.
Yeah, they would get the Broncos.
I'm looking at the thing, and I was like,
I know, and I don't know why they do that because the truth of the matter is that really ain't how the bracket is set up. The bracket is really like the top seed is always going to get the lowest seed.
Gotcha.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah. So I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it look like March Madness. I got it. That's not really true. For those who are watching, that's not really true.
Okay.
The top seed is always going to get the lowest seed. Always.
Makes sense.
So there you go. So now, if the Broncos somehow pull off the upset, I mean, if the Broncos lose, then yes, they'll get the Steelers or whatever the lowest seed is, they're gonna get it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Gotcha. Okay.
So there you go. So let me take you on into the NFC now. My surprise. Also, I have 2 candidates for that. I'm looking at the Bucs and Sam Darnold as my surprises, and I don't know which one I'm more surprised by because I didn't see the Bucs coming. Although it's a weak division. I thought Atlanta would be better. I thought Kirk Cousins would be better. I was like, surely this team, Atlanta, is foolproof because even Kirk Cousins can't mess this up. Like, it's just too many weapons. And turns out I was completely wrong. Kirk Cousins absolutely messed that up. And maybe Atlanta messed it up because if you watch Michael Penix the last 3 games of the season, you had no choice but to think, why hasn't he been playing the whole time? Kid looks fantastic. So I don't know, but I can say this. They found their quarterback, I think. And wow, Kirk Cousins, I don't know what his future holds, but they definitely found their quarterback. Everything's good on that side. Yeah. But the Bucs took full advantage of that and made it work, and they got in. But I don't know if I'm more surprised. Now that I think about it, I think I'll take the Bucs out. Sam Darnold's my shock. Because here's a guy who played on 3 teams prior to. 2 of them, he was awful. The Panthers and the Jets. He was awful. There's nothing else you can say about him but that he was awful. And somehow or another, he got to this system and looked like a Pro Bowl quarterback. Well, up until last night. Now, last night he looked like the old Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one he is. We might find out that he's still Sam Darnold, the old Sam Darnold. It's possible. But for 17 games, he looked like a Pro Bowl quarterback. Or 16 games, he looked like a Pro Bowl quarterback. So I got to give Sam Darnold my surprise, man. What a season for him. My worst, I think, without question, based on the expectations. Now, they were not my expectations. Let me be very clear. I didn't have these expectations.
Yeah.
In my mind, I thought what happened was going to happen. In that Caleb Williams was not good. Now, everybody's going to try to blame the coaching, and they're going to say, oh, they did everything to screw this kid up. The offensive line wasn't. That is not what you people were saying prior to the start of this season. Most of the people were saying, oh, no rookie has ever been set up better than Caleb Williams. He's got a Pro Bowl quarterback. He's got Pro Bowl receivers. He's got Pro Bowl running back. He's got a defense that's top tier. He got everything he needs to be successful. And the Bears can not only make the playoffs, but they can contend for the division. He was awful. He was awful.
It's awful.
He held the ball. He did everything that I thought he would do coming into this season. Holding the ball too long. He allowed. I don't know what kind of student of the game he is, because he was carrying the same mistakes every week for a long time, for most of the season. He was awful. He was so bad this season. So I know everybody's, like I said, they're going to try to blame the coaching. I don't blame Matt Eberflus completely. Now, Matt Eberflus was not great. The firing is justified. I get it. But I'm not going to say it was all him. I'm going to say it was a combination of a kid that's not prepared. And by the way, I got to ask you, Chad, did they make a massive mistake by not picking Jaden Daniels? In my opinion, they did.
Yes, because Jaden Daniels, it was an argument that Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in the draft.
I said that from the start.
Yeah, so I mean, Caleb Williams, yeah, he had the attention and all kind of stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he was the best quarterback or best quarterback, to go first. But I mean, it's hype. It was hype around Caleb Williams, but Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in the draft. So
yeah, and Michael Penix may have been the second best, or Bo Nix.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, there were other options. The bottom line is what we're talking about is, I think the Bears zeroed in on their guy,
Exactly.
and didn't do their due diligence.
Exactly.
And had they done their due diligence, they would have realized that Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in this draft.
But I'm seeing that happen a lot, though. They zeroed in on a guy and don't actually look at the whole fild. And
absolutely, 100%.
That's not the way to. I mean, I've never ran an organization other than my fantasy football league, but I don't think that's the way it should go. So,
well, listen, the fantasy football league worked out for you. You got a ring right there, brother. You're looking at a ring on your finger. So
I'm just saying,
it's worked out for you. So there you go. So that's my worst, and then of course it's no brainer. The best in the NFC to me is the Detroit Lions. And boy, they looked phenomenal last night. Like, they looked like a team poised to make a run. So it will be interesting to see how that unfolds throughout the playoffs. They get the first round bye. Although I know the Eagles are coming. The Eagles look good. And Saquon has had an outstanding year. But if I was a betting man, I'd put my bet on Detroit. So there you go.
Cool. And so yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit as well for my best. I just don't see any competition at this point. I don't know. The thing with Philadelphia is I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to rise to the occasion or not. If he can rise to the occasion, then yeah, they have a good chance against Detroit. But I just don't. I'm not sure I can trust them just yet.
Okay.
My surprise is going to be the Falcons. Like you said. High expectations. You signed a quarterback to a very expensive contract, that hasn't really done anything within the last 6-7 years. And you drafted a quarterback, which you probably had doubts if you drafted a quarterback that high. You probably that was your insurance policy. It worked out, but no, definitely with all those weapons over there, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, your offense is supposed to be, what it is like right now with Michael Penix. So
Right.
that definitely, that definitely Kirk Cousins thing was a mistake. My worst is going to be my worst. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Bears because Caleb Williams was the first pick in the draft. You're supposed to have high expectations for the first pick in the draft, and he didn't live up to those.
Are you though?
I mean, it's supposed to be the first pick in the draft. That should mean something. It
doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna make the playoffs or make a Super Bowl run.
It should mean that you at least have a winning record.
Does it?
It should.
I don't know. I think
if you take a team that's been in the bottom and supposedly add an impact player to your team is supposed to get better.
Better is different than winning season.
Okay, well, what was a record?
Here's the reason why I bring that up, Chad.
Okay.
I think the recent play of the CJ Strouds and the Jaden Daniels, I think that is causing a lot of problems for a lot of the incoming players that like quarterback that are rookies coming in. Everybody's not going to be those guys. Like,
True.
I'm not sure, as much as I would like Shador, and we'll get to that here in just a second, I don't know if Shador is Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud. He might end up being those guys. I'm not sure he's that yet. And so
it matters what you put around him, though.
That's my point. That's my point. Okay. So I'm saying to have the expectation that your team is going to make some grandiose leap in year one is probably a little unfair because it's more likely that your team's going to do what Drake May did than it is that they're going to do what Jaden Daniels did. Like, that's being realistic. Most of the time, a rookie quarterback doesn't transform your team that much.
But I think Washington had it hard because they had a new head coach and a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but they also had a team that was somewhat close to playoff contention the last couple of years. They just didn't have a great quarterback. So now they have a great quarterback that they could just plug and play, and it worked out for them. But most teams do not have that. That's my point. Same thing with the Broncos. The Broncos got a guy. They didn't ask him to do a lot. They didn't open up the playbook to Bo Nix. It's not like he's running every play that's in their playbook. Yeah. He's running a very simplified offense. And, it worked. It's worked out. But most guys are not going to leave. Most teams are not one quarterback away. Mm. Like, when you're bad, you're usually bad. Yeah. You're bad for a reason. I don't think we're one quarterback away. I think a quarterback would help fix a lot of problems, and we would get better and play better, and we would be more competitive. But we're not. I don't know if we're just one quarterback away.
So Chicago, they would have been bad either way. You think?
I don't know. I don't know because Caleb was awful.
Yeah, correct.
He was awful. By the way, we're into question 2 now. So he was awful. I don't know. Because the things that Caleb did wrong, Jaden wouldn't have done those things wrong. The holding the ball, the not reading the field. I don't think Jaden would have done those things wrong. So I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah, because I'm curious if Jaden Daniels, if they switch spots, would Jaden Daniels be who he is?
I think you would have gotten the exact same result, just the opposite teams. I think Jaden would have been better, would have been just as good in Chicago as he was in Washington. Not saying they would have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not saying that because their division is ridiculously tough.
Yeah.
They're keep in mind, they're sending 3 teams to the playoffs. who all have a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl. Like all three. So I don't think they would have I think they would have been decent. Much better than I don't know if they would have won or made enough won enough to get to the playoffs because of the division that they were in. But I think they would have been better than what they were for sure. So
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that brings us to our teams. And let me do a quick wardrobe change here. Just because I think it's appropriate.
Well, you know, I'm wearing black for a reason.
Well, I am too. It's Black Monday. But I am going to try to rep, the squad a little bit here.
Okay. I got them, but you just can't see it.
Yeah, but it's definitely Black Monday for sure. So both of our teams, none of the 5 teams actually made it to the playoffs. The Colts, which is who Killer Cam and Reggie support, the Cowboys, who you and Al support, and then my Giants. None of them made it to the playoffs, and that's because they were not good. They were not good. Neither none of those teams were good. But the draft order's been set, and so I ask you, Chad, how do you think your team gets back to the top of the mountain? Now, I want to start with your team because something happened last night that I didn't expect to happen. There's a new movie that's out. I don't know if you heard about it on Netflix. I mean, not Netflix, on Amazon, called The Landman.
I've heard of that.
And The Landman has a surprise guest appearance in the movie from one Jerry Jones. And there is a scene from Jerry Jones who is playing a fictionalized character version of himself and him owning the Cowboys. And he goes to see his friend who's in the hospital, who is equally as rich and, wealthy or whatever. And he has a conversation about the importance of legacy. And he talks. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Jerry Jones because his acting was impeccable. I was very shocked at how good he was.
I mean, he does that every Sunday, so it's not
this was really good. Like, if you get a chance to see it, I encourage everybody watching to go see it. It was really good. It's really, really good. Shockingly good.
Okay.
But he's also playing himself and speaking about a truthful circumstance in that he's talking about his Cowboys and why he took the position and why he owns the team and the whole nine. And he said something that was interesting. I wanted to bring this up before you made your statement because there's a reality that I need you to fall in line with immediately.
Okay.
He said in the monologue that he gave in the movie, I took the Cowboys job because I wanted to have something that I could do with my family. A team that I could own. And this is what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And by the way, he doubled down on that statement in an actual press conference on yesterday. Yeah. So when I heard him say this in the movie, then I heard the press conference. This is the reality that I now realize about your Cowboys. It's never going to change.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
So anybody, no. You said, of course.
No,
here's the reality, Chad. You and the rest of the Cowboy fans, you have to stop. You have to stop wishing and hoping that Jerry's going to do something different or that he's not. The only thing that's going to get Jerry, the GM, away from the Cowboys is death itself.
Oh, I've realized that in the last couple of years. So yes,
So you got it. But you got to help the rest of your fan base to realize it, because if you don't, you're gonna be miserable every year. It's never going to change, ever. Listen to me. Listen, Cowboys. Listen, Linda. Ever.
like I've said before, when I saw the I think it's Hard Knocks, and I saw Jerry Jones putting a packet of salt on a McGriddle that
Yeah.
already has a gazillion things of salt on it, I knew that man was loco. I knew it. So
And
at
by
that
the way, let me say this. I had another revelation about your guy today, too.
okay.
I don't know if he is a loser. Because
No.
think about this, my brother.
Mhm.
If you won 3 titles and were able to leave your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren $15 billion of a franchise upon your death, doesn't really feel like a loss to me.
No, I never said it was a loss or he was a
But
loser. No, that's not. I mean, that's generational wealth. However you look at it, I mean, he's won before. It's not like he hasn't won before. He's won before. He's trying to get back to that mountaintop, but his mind frame has changed since the best coaches he's had. He let it go, and so he got bigger of himself at that point. That's when the Jerry Jones persona kind of upped. And no, he was Jerry Jones, the owner, but then now he's Jerry Jones. So I think that's kind of where it took off, and he's lost himself. Relatively,
I don't. But see, here's the thing: whether he has lost himself or whether he hasn't, it doesn't matter. In his mind, I've accomplished everything that I needed to accomplish in regards to this franchise, and we won. We're winning. So now, will they ever win another Super Bowl? I don't know. Probably not.
yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't matter necessarily to him, but just keep this
Well, no,
in
I
mind.
think it matters. I think it matters, but I don't think he can get out of his own way either.
Oh no, he's not. But
Yeah.
yes, you won in the 90s. It is now 2025.
It is.
When the last time they won, my little brother was being born. He is about to be 30 years old. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
So you want to win in this decade. I'm sure he wants to get back as far as being superior on the field. Now, off the field, the Cowboys are light years ahead of a lot of teams in popularity and whatnot and merchandise. But you want to be, good on the field as well, because that $12 billion that you're worth, you could easily go to 24 if you're winning on the field. So, I mean, I think that, on the field is where you need to make your mark, and you fail to improve your team on the field.
So let me ask you the question that is the question. If Jerry Jones never wins another title, are the Cowboys a success or a failure?
As far as just like,
you heard me.
I mean, there's success.
I'm not going to add anything to that question.
Is
Jerry Jones a success or a failure?
He's a success because he's won 3. If he didn't win any, then yes, he would be a failure.
Okay.
But yeah,
would he be a failure? Because $15 billion.
But would the Cowboys even be that popular if he never won? Would he be able to? But would he be able to? But yes, because they've won. But I'm saying, like, if he never got those Super Bowls, could he have catapulted the Cowboys to what they are now? You would have to have some type of winning and notoriety to be able to push the team up.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I think that Jerry has made them whatever they are, and whatever happens from this point on, they are what they are. Mm-hmm. And as much as I hate to say it, from a money perspective, they're the number 1 franchise in the world.
Yeah.
So
And
I
without
don't know
winning in
what to do
30
with that.
years is crazy. You
Yeah.
still number one without winning in 30 years. It's crazy.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. They're the number one franchise in the world. Period.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a weird situation. But you're picking 12th, brother. You happy with that? And what do you need to do to change it around for next year?
I am actually happy with that. I would have been even happier if we got in the top 10, but I think we can still do what we need to do at 12. My thing of getting a quarterback kind of is out the window now.
You got a quarterback. You paying $60 million. You wouldn't get a quarterback no matter where you pick. If you picked in the top 10, you wouldn't get no quarterback. You know that.
I didn't want that quarterback. You know that. I didn't want that quarterback. So
I hate you for this man. It's shocking to me.
So
it's shocking.
Just on the field, off the field, he's probably a great guy.
On the field, he's a great dude. He's not the problem.
Okay. I digress. At 12, if Genty is there, I would like to take Genty. We need a running back. If he's not there, we need a wide receiver. I want to take the wide receiver out of Ohio State. Is Ibuki, I think his name is.
Okay.
Egbuka. I would like at least pair him with CD, and hopefully get a running back in the later rounds that's still a good running back, and at least start there.
Okay. All right. For us, this is simple. It's been simple for quite some time. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it's very simple. We need a quarterback. Cannot win this league without a quarterback. Now, what will be interesting will be, who will that quarterback be? Because circumstances have unfolded and we don't know what is going to happen. And news broke today, as a matter of fact, as recent as today, that Deshaun Watson has had a setback to the point where his ACL is not healed properly, or something has gone wrong, and he may not play in 2025.
He needs a massage, bro.
Don't. You know what? Don't do that. Don't do that. He might though. It's possible.
I mean,
but the reality is, they need a quarterback. They can't go forward without a quarterback, but they are in a wild position in that they can't pay everybody to be quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do. So they're either going to draft a quarterback, or they're going to draft the best available. I don't know. It's hard to say. And then the Titans, are they sold on Will Levis? So the reason why I bring all of this up is that our goal and our hope is that we get a Shedeur or a Cam Ward. That's what we want. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen now because of what just happened. So, but I do know this: we can't leave the draft without a quarterback. And in my mind, there are only three options: Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart. If you don't get one of those three, I'm not sure what you're doing. So
my question for you is: so those two quarterbacks won't be available by the time you draft?
Don't know.
Well, I'm saying if they're not available by the time you draft,
yeah,
would you
take Travis Hunter?
Yeah, would settle for?
No, you can't. If you're the Giants, you can't. You have to take a quarterback, or you got to go get and steal somebody that's out there. Like, I hate to say it, but like a Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins or somebody that's a stopgap, you got to go get a stopgap. But you cannot enter the next. If Brian Daboll and Joe Shane want to keep their job, they got to get a quarterback. Point blank, period. If they don't do that, John Mara might as well fire them tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this is simple. But also, let me say this. If I am those guys, I try to get the first pick. I make an offer to the Titans. The Titans have Will Levis. So they might be amenable to making a shift. They might be. And we at least got to have that conversation. And I make them an offer. But I got to be convinced also in Shedeur and Cam Ward. I got to be convinced that they're worth going to get. But we missed on Jaden Daniels. We did not make the Commanders the offer that they deserve to be made. Or we didn't make the Patriots the offer. Or whoever was picking above us. We didn't make them the right offer that we could have gotten Jaden Daniels. We blew that play. We cannot blow that play again. We got to get it right. So we'll see. That's all I can say, brother. We'll see.
My thing is, why not draft Travis Hunter and then try to get back and still get a quarterback? Like you said, the Jackson Dart or
nope. Because while Travis would be great to have, obviously, who don't want Travis Hunter? It's not your priority. That's not going to win a championship for you. That's not going to be the main reason why you win a championship. Would it be lovely to have both? Of course.
That's what I'm saying. Try to see if you can swing both.
Well, listen, it'd be great to swing both. But priority one is a quarterback. It's a quarterback. You got to get a quarterback. You cannot leave the draft without a quarterback, point blank, period.
So if those two quarterbacks are gone, and you got like maybe a second round for or Quinn Ewers, you're not taking Quinn?
No.
If he's the best available?
No, he's not. He's not going to be the best available. I don't have him as a first or second or even third round grade. I have a fourth round grade on Quinn. So, no, I would not take Quinn. If I can't get Shedeur, Cam, or Jackson, then if I'm the Giants, I got to get a quarterback that's a stopgap. I got to go get Sam, or I got to go get Jackson, or Kirk on the cheap, or I got to find somebody that can get us over the hump through this season. I got to get somebody that can man this ship.
You know, Marcus Mariota looked good yesterday.
Great for him.
You don't want him?
Not at all. Not at all.
Golly.
Great for him, though. Appreciate you, brother.
You playing better. You playing better than Kirk?
Not by much.
I mean,
not by much.
He's gonna be throwing it to Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt. Like,
no. Stop trying to send my team trash.
Trying to help y'all.
You ain't trying to help. All your suggestions have been terrible. Every single one, except for the Travis Hunter one.
Hey, I'm just saying.
All right, let's get to question number 3. Wow, what a playoff. What a playoff. Let's start with, before we get to who's going to win the next game, we'll get to that in a minute. But let's talk about the actual thing that we saw. I think the first thing that we just discovered coming out of the playoff is that the bye doesn't work. It does not work.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to have a team off for a month and the other team got to play the week before or 10 days before. I think that was an epic fail because the team that got to play was ready. in both games. They were
Mm-hmm.
ready. No team that got a bye won.
Yeah.
And I think that's because they couldn't knock off the rust in enough time to get ready. Oregon looked terrible. They were awful.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they would have been that awful had they been playing the whole time and keeping the momentum that they had already built. But they were awful. Oregon was awful. I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Because
Okay.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel was in the running for the Heisman, so he definitely had better games than what they had. But like you said, like whenever that long layoff is, and it happens a lot in different sports, when you have that long layoff and then you try to play a game and you haven't played in a while and the other team has, it's a dogfight, and so it never really works out the way you want it to. So,
Which, by the way, I'm with all due respect to Dylan Gabriel and what he has accomplished in the totality of his career. He's okay. He's not great. He's okay to me. And I know somebody's going to take Dylan Gabriel, and maybe you take him late rounds in the draft and you put him on your bench, and because he's old enough and mature enough, he can mature into something. Maybe that might be somebody I might take just because he's been around for so long.
he's a
Like
project.
a Bo Nix. He's been around so long. Maybe he's got the maturity to come in and play well or whatever. But he was awful in that game. Awful. And so I just wouldn't fool with him. But man, it was a rough situation. The Georgia looked terrible. Georgia was terrible, bro.
It's not the Georgia we all remember from the last couple of years.
But it is the Georgia we remember seeing the last 3 or 4 weeks. They
like
that Georgia.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, just the way they've always been in the mix, and they just I don't know. It looked like a different Georgia for sure.
And by the way, I'm not 100% sure that Carson Beck would have been any better than the what's the kid's name? I don't even remember the kid's name.
I think Stockton.
Stockton. Yeah. I'm not sure he would have been any better. Like Carson Beck has been playing awful, and so Stockton was awful. Like it just wasn't any good. And that defense did the best they could for as long as they could. But by the way, Riley Leonard wasn't that much greater, but he did enough to, they did enough to win the game.
Exactly.
And Notre Dame's defense was fantastic. I thought Austin Genety got his reality check. And you said as that you'd love to take Austin Genety in the draft at 12. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
No,
I understand what you're saying.
Do you think you know where I'm going with this?
I know where you're going with it.
Where am I going?
Scatterbo.
I would take Scatterbo in a heartbeat, brother.
I know. Yeah, I know where you're going with it.
I would take Scatterbo over Genety in a heartbeat. And that's no disrespect to Ashton and what he accomplished this year. I think what he accomplished is fantastic. But if I'm putting man to man, tape to tape, give me Scatterbo.
I mean, he was
Scatterbo. He was outstanding.
He was in the
he almost single-handedly beat Texas by himself.
And that's not good. That's not good for Arizona State to have one person almost beat you. I mean, technically they did beat them.
Texas. It's not good for Texas. Yeah,
it's not good for Texas, but it wasn't good for Arizona State really because you were one-dimensional. But they would have won if it wasn't for the defense. I mean, Arizona State would have got away with one if it wasn't for their defense. That last play was unacceptable.
I mean, but Scatterbo at that point didn't have nothing left in the tank. He was running up. The man was throwing up on the side of on the sideline. So I mean, he didn't have nothing left.
Yeah. But
So
him in the NFL in the 2-back system, I don't think he would have to have that usage. So yeah, you could be right. He could be definitely a steal.
Hold on one second, because since we're done with the question number 2 segment, I can go put my hat back on. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, Genty or Scatterbo.
I like Scatterbo, man.
I'll take either one.
To me, Scatterbo is a clear cut first round pick. And I think when that kid goes to the combine, everything is standing in front of him.
He has to have the good combine.
Because I think he's gonna kill it on the bench. I think he's gonna kill it on the squat. And if he could just get to at least a 4.4, 4.5, I can't see that kid not being drafted in the first round. He's a steal. Now let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You talk about somebody I want to steal out of the first round, that's who I'd like to steal. If the Giants could steal a quarterback and Scatterbo,
that'd be a good draft.
That'd be a damn good draft.
That'd be a good draft.
Okay. All right.
So you think he's going, well, based off, depending on his combine, late first?
If he has the combine that it feels like he's going to have, yeah. I don't see how you don't take him in the first round. You can't wait. He won't be there.
Yeah.
And I don't know who you're valuing over him at that point. He's Christian McCaffrey, but bigger.
Yeah.
I just think you'd be crazy not to take that kid.
Eyes
are not deceiving you. He is that kid.
I think the Cowboys would do justice, taking him. I think that would be.
I like him. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I grade for him much higher than Genty. There's no disrespect to Genty, but Genty struggled to get those 100 yards. He struggled.
No.
And Scatterbo got 245, 260 all purpose and threw for 62 yards or 22 yards.
Yeah.
Come on, man. He almost single-handedly beat that team by himself. He was better than their quarterback was.
Yeah, they barely threw the ball. I was like, what's going on here?
I'm just saying, bro. That boy he's for real. He's for real. So we haven't said all of that. Here we are with the Final Four. And before we make our picks, let's just talk about the games itself. Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame. I'm be honest with you. In my humble opinion, based on both sides of the ball and their quarterfinal performances, this feels like Ohio State's to lose. I did not know that Jeremiah Smith was that good. I knew he was good.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that good. He is. Now, I don't know if I agree with Dan Orlovsky that he'd be the number 1 pick in the draft this year.
Not this year, but definitely
I think he'd be in the top 5 for sure. I think it'd be the quarterbacks, Travis and him, in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
But that kid is, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He's a freshman.
I don't. Where does he come out of? What state?
I don't know, but he's a freshman. That's the scary part about it. He's a freshman. He's 225 pounds. He's a freshman.
He ain't even grew fully yet.
He don't even understand what he's doing yet. He's a freshman. He don't even get it yet.
They always find those wide receivers, man. They always find them, and they still can't beat Michigan. And they always find them wide receivers.
Really?
But I mean, in the next couple of years, he definitely will be.
Keep in mind, while they can't beat Michigan, they are 1 game away from the national championship.
because they got motivated by not beating us. So
They did.
so
So thank you, Michigan.
he ain't won yet. They got to win it. They got to win it.
Clearly, you are not rooting for them to win. So there you go.
Clearly not. But I mean, I think you can't really get Texas out because they still have those big boys on the front, offense and defense. The thing with Texas though, they got to make sure they can stop that run. They almost didn't do it against Arizona State.
Yeah.
But they definitely got to stop that run against Ohio State because they got a couple of guys that can take it to the house. So I think that may be the big thing right there. If they can stop the run, and like you said, they got that Jeremiah Smith and Egbuka.
I don't know if you can stop all of it.
You got to make them one dimensional.
Stop all of it. It's a lot. It's a lot, bro.
But Texas has some wide receivers too, though. Texas has.
Listen, Texas is solid. I can't take nothing away from them. But man, Ohio State looks complete. By the way, did not know Notre Dame's defense was that good. Like they're much better than I thought they were.
Yeah,
much better than I thought they were.
Let's not forget the fact that the blunder from the first game of Notre Dame where they lost. They could be undefeated right now. They could be undefeated right now.
Amazing.
So it's just they are a good team because they could have been undefeated, and so we're not going to count them out against. I mean, I think they'll handle Penn State. I think they can get past Penn State.
You think they're going to handle Penn State?
I think they get past them. I think they can.
Good. Wow.
I think they
That's
can.
interesting. Penn State surprised me as well. Because you just never know with Penn State. They don't, but I think they got the perfect matchup in Boise State. So I don't know if we found out anything about Penn State at all, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I think the national championship is going to come out of the Texas Ohio State game.
You think so?
Whoever wins that is going to be national champion.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. Because I think the Penn State Notre Dame defenses are for real. I think they are.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they can't manufacture points.
You're gonna need to score points against Texas. You're gonna need to score.
Well, that's if you.
You're gonna need to score points against both of them.
You're gonna need to get at least 21, I would think. So I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. With the championship, but we'll make our picks here in just a minute. As we go to question number 4, which is a very simple question. Trade deadline is literally 1 month from today. 1 month. And already we are on fire. Jimmy Butler trying to force his way, not even trying, has asked for the trade out of Miami, and Miami actively working to find a partner. Rich Paul quietly working the phones to pull off a massive shift for De'Aaron Fox. And there are other things going on out there. Vucevic.
There you go.
From the Chicago Bulls. Valanciunas, everybody that has on a Pelicans jersey right now. I asked you, Chad Major, what are the trades that are going to happen either prior to the deadline or at the deadline that will not only shift some teams, but maybe change the title favorite?
I got Vucevic going to the Golden State Warriors.
Of course you do.
For Gary Payton III.
Of course you do. That's not going to be enough.
I mean, that's just a start, but you're not getting Vucevic for just Gary Payton III. You're delusional if you think you are. I mean, you can get some picks or whatever. I know it's a lot of.
Goodbye, Looney.
Bye.
Goodbye, Moody.
I mean, it's a lot of things. Just
my first round pick.
it's a lot of things going on with that apron and then the CBA, which that definitely can depend on what we're gonna throw. But the framework is Vucevic to go to state for whoever. It don't even matter at this point.
It does matter because what you have left once you make the trade matters.
Oh yeah, but I can't tell you who exactly it's gonna be. I can't. I mean, I'm just saying.
Spoken like a man who spent no time with the NBA trade machine.
I didn't.
Just go to the trade machine and figure it out, brother.
I wasn't on the trade machine. All you
gotta do is type in NBA trade machine, and you can see what's available.
I was getting my information from other sources. My bad. My bad.
Okay.
I also have.
It's all. Well, let me before you could go in. All these warrior-based trades.
No.
All right.
No. I got one that
I know my little brother. And he cares deeply about his Warriors.
That was the only one, but I really hope they make a trade though. I mean, I think they're gonna wait till the trade deadline because there's a lot of stuff going on.
I don't think you'll be able to afford that. Let's stop right there for just a second. I don't think you're gonna be able to wait this year. I think that the critical nature of what you need to do, I think there will be some trades that will wait, but there are gonna be some that I think you're going to have to do prior to the deadline.
Well, it depends on that apron, though.
I think if you wait, you're going to miss your guy.
It depends on that apron because I was reading that a lot of teams are that first and second apron. You can't make changes or moves until February. So it just depends. I agree.
But the teams that can do it are going to go ahead and pull the trigger because they know that.
Yeah, I think it's the Rockets and the Mavericks and some other teams that can actually make moves like right now.
So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how it all works out. But I digress. Go ahead.
Jimmy Butler to the Memphis Grizzlies for Marcus Smart, Brandon Clark.
To the Memphis Grizzlies?
Memphis Grizzlies. Ja and Jimmy. You said to shape the NBA.
And who you giving up?
Marcus Smart, Brandon Clark, and Luke Kennard.
I'm going to put this in the trade machine and see if it works.
Put it in the machine.
I don't think it's going to work.
Put it in the machine.
I'm going to put it in the trade machine because I just want to see if it'll work.
It's going to turn green.
We're going to see. I'm going to pull it up right now. I'll pull up the trade machine as we speak. So you said Jimmy Butler
for Marcus Smart.
And Jimmy Butler for Marcus Smart. Who else?
Brandon Clark.
And who else?
Luke Kennard.
And Luke Kennard.
Watch it turn green right now.
Let's see. It is a successful trade, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. It's not gonna happen, but it is a successful trade.
I mean, and if you wanna put Jimmy somewhere else.
Now, should they do it?
I mean, if you want Memphis to be back to where they have been a couple years ago, I mean, Ja and Jimmy is a formidable pair.
But the problem is this. Here's the problem.
Okay.
Jimmy's when you trade for Jimmy, you automatically owe him $55 million.
Okay.
If you're Memphis, do you want to pay $55 million for a dude that's 35?
You got a lot of teams wanting to pay Jimmy Butler right now.
But you're not in win now mode. Jimmy's not an automatic to get you to the finals.
He's not.
Not if you're Memphis. Memphis, I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense for me for Memphis. I'm gonna throw something out at you, and you're gonna be shocked when I say it. And I wish I could take full credit for it, but I can't.
Okay.
Shout out to Reggie Love, who came up with that idea.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler, in some version of a trade for Zion Williamson. And I said, what? But then when you think about it, because at first I'm like, no way, Zion needs to be, with all his vices, No way he needs to be on South Beach.
All that Cuban food.
That's what I said. I said, bro, Spanish food,
Yeah.
food
Rice and beans.
feels like an epic fail.
Yeah.
But that's out. But here's the other side. That's outside the building.
Mm.
In the building, you have a coach and a GM that knows how to manage a player and his weight and his circumstances.
Who did they manage before?
Huh?
Who did they manage before their waking their circumstance?
Everybody. Shaq, pick somebody. Their culture is all about managing weight and managing health and managing all of the things. If anybody could get him to a place of discipline, it's probably
I buy the discipline part, the structure and the discipline part. Yeah.
But that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but that part, yes. That part. The
now the
structure
trade doesn't work without a lot of other pieces.
Yeah.
I
just think Zion was in a bad spot because now they had the Willie Green as the coach coming in. I just think he's in a bad spot. I just think.
Well, let me say this. It's a bad spot for this reason and this reason alone. We just had our first breakdown of Netflix.
Oh
Lord. It's back. It just came back. Okay. Like, here we go.
Oh man.
They can't afford to be screwing up, Netflix. Y'all gotta get this right now.
I got a question. So there's some tension between Brad Beal and the Phoenix Suns and everything going on. Will he be a trade candidate? Is he think they'll move him?
Maybe, but not to Miami, which is what Miami wants. But Miami said they don't want Brad Beal, which I totally understand. They already got an older player on that's way over the cap.
Yeah.
So I don't make sense to get another older player that's way over the cap. And Brad Beal doesn't help them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels like they have fallen out of love with Bradley Beal, that's for sure. So I don't know.
I just think it wasn't enough balls to pass around, Pauls.
Well, it's not. It's not. Okay, Dame Dan. Goodness. I don't know. It's because I heard they're moving him to the bench, which is very weird.
Very.
I don't know. I don't know what. And by the way, was shocked to hear that news. Bradley Beal and Nurkic are going to the bench, and I'm like,
yeah.
So what are y'all doing? Like, I don't know. It just seems like they're trying to trade them out. So I don't know what's going on in Phoenix, and I'm not sure Phoenix knows what they're going on. By the way, Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, has already come out and said, "Oh, I will definitely max out Jimmy." Like, what? He's wild, bro. He is wild. I don't even know if I have a owner comparison for him.
You can't give money to everybody.
He's just trying to give money to everybody. Like, he's the Oprah of owners. You get a check. You get a check. You get a check.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand this dude, man. But he gonna find out quick that that ain't how it works. That is not how it works. It's not how you get a championship in any sports league. So,
at all.
But okay, so you got Vucevic, you got Vucevic, whatever his name is. You got Jimmy.
Yeah.
Is that all you got?
I was trying to figure out if they trade Bradley Beal, where would he go?
I don't know. Before you even get to where would he go, would bringing in Bradley Beal to any team make that team a contender? And I guess it all contends. I'm going to answer first. My opinion of that statement is, it depends. If Bradley Beal is if I don't have to give up too much to get him, yes.
Yeah.
Like if he came to us, as long as we ain't got to give up, if we ain't got to gut our team, hell yeah. Having a shooter like that,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be great.
And
But-
I don't think that you have to now because he's a little bit older. I don't think he requires much to try to get him though.
I don't know. And that's the part I don't know. But it's interesting because it feels like the thrill is gone and the relationship is over.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen with that. That's a very interesting situation. And it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds over the next few weeks. Because it looks like something might happen with that Bradley Beal situation. So, especially if he's willing to waive his no trade clause, it could be real interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
So, okay. I gave you my Zion Williams.
Yeah.
I actually had Jimmy coming to y'all. I like Jimmy coming to y'all because the thing that seems to be missing right now is the defense. And I asked myself this question, and I want to see what your thoughts are, bro. The only thing that Jonathan Kuminga has on Jimmy right now is youth.
True.
But if you set them side by side, I take Jimmy. I take his 25 points a game.
Yeah.
I take his 10 rebounds and 5 assists. And I take his defense and IQ. And he's going to be way more consistent than Kuminga's going to be.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Warriors, why am I not doing this deal? I don't understand why you're not trying to do this deal. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Only thing I can try to wrap my head around is
They won't pay him.
well, that or the health part. You want to? He's been out for not necessarily he's been out now, but because of suspension, but he's been out for injuries in the past, and so that's the only thing that I can think of: injuries and not being on the floor and paying him all that money to not be on the floor.
And by the way, let me say this real quick, just for because I want it on tape that I said it. I just dated myself by saying tape, by the way. Shame on you, Pat Riley, for saying that this man was doing something conduct detrimental to the team. Shame on you.
Yeah.
That's just wrong. That man don't agree with the way you handling his situation. Now, to call that detrimental to the team is, I don't like that. No. Now, I'll say this. Jimmy has left every team he's ever played for the same way. If you think about it, he don't leave relationships well.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
I mean, I warm up to the point of getting him. I just not sure what we would give up to get him.
I don't think you can get him without giving up Kuminga.
I mean, and those two interchange out, so that's
because they want a player that's going to be comparable and it's going to keep them in the race. He's the only one that would do that. But I think it might be worth it. They get their younger Jimmy Butler, and y'all get y'all Jimmy Butler that you need to make a final run.
If they throw what's his name, Duncan Robinson in there, yeah, and somebody that can space the floor and shoot threes, I like it.
But I don't know if you need that.
Yeah,
no.
you always need somebody to space the floor.
But I think but you got people that can shoot threes. I don't think you need that. I think you need a defensive player that's going to be consistent.
We definitely need to be.
He helps Draymond. He helps Steph. That's all you need.
Yeah, we definitely need a big, but I don't think Miami's.
Yeah, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to get another big.
Yeah.
Portland got a big right now that y'all can go get, and he's probably comparable to anything that you would want.
See, this is a time where we need Bob Myers, man.
Give the man a chance. He ain't had a job that long.
It's
You're
time.
hard on people.
We need the closer, man. We need the
You're
closer.
hard on people. Give this man, give Dunleavy a chance.
I don't know. If we're going, I think if we make a bigger move, I think Schroeder might be in it. If we make, depending on who is available. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well then, you know,
it's like a Giannis.
I don't think y'all making no bigger move than Jimmy. Other than that, Jimmy's there.
It's like
Jimmy's
Giannis.
top of the line.
If Giannis is available,
stop it. Stop. Let's not say ridiculous things. No. Yeah. But speaking of bigger moves, it appears that Rich Paul is structuring a massive De'Aaron Fox move. And if I had to guess, he's trying to get him to the Lakers. It looks that way. All signs are pointing to he wants De'Aaron Fox as a Laker. And the reality is they have the pieces to make it. They have the pieces to make it work.
I thought you were about to say, and I want De'Aaron Fox to be a Laker.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's be very clear. Let me look directly down the barrel of the camera for this one. I absolutely want that. Because if we get De'Aaron Fox, probably going back to the finals. With all due respect to OKC, with all due respect to the Nuggets, you ain't got enough firepower to beat us at that point. AD and De'Aaron Fox by themselves is enough to make it interesting. But throw in LeBron James and a LeBron James that don't have to play for 30 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's a nice little 1-2.
Now, we are after the same player in Vucevic. And we have to Valanciunas.
Yeah, I don't need him.
We do need him. We need a big. And we have to Valanciunas. Don't be trying to talk my squad out of getting it. Talk your own squad out of getting it.
Nah, we need big too.
Well, then, deal with your stuff. We deal with our stuff. But I think the quiet part spoken out loud is De'Aaron Fox. And if they can pull it off, now, why Sacramento? Now, let me speak to the other side as a journalist. Why Sacramento would do this, I have no idea. Other than De'Aaron Fox has said, or Rich Paul has said, he ain't signing an extension. So if that's true, then they're going to have to do something. You can't lose them for nothing.
Yeah.
And now is the time to go do it. So I get it. But I'm just saying, if it happens.
So if they ask for Austin Reeves, what you doing?
I love you, Austin. You were great. I appreciate you. I will forever be an Austin Reeves fan from a distance.
This is over with.
But your time as a Laker has come to an abrupt end.
Man.
We already got 2 Austin Reeves right now.
Oh, true.
I mean,
true.
Just saying, you got to make that move. If you're the Lakers and you can get De'Aaron Fox right now, you got to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. It is the move of all moves.
He can always go with his buddy who's signed to a sneaker brand.
Who?
Steph Curry.
I'm going to hang up this. Y'all can't have everybody, man.
I mean, he's signed to a sneaker.
No, Chad, no. You can't have everybody. First of all,
y'all can't have everybody.
Why would they do that?
Move Steph to the 2.
No,
Go
this is
ahead
why I
and
hate having these. This is why I hate having these conversations with you.
go ahead and ship
This
Andrew
is
Wiggins
why I hate
over there.
having these conversations with you.
Ship
Because
Andrew
y'all want
Wiggins over there.
everybody. You have no objectivity.
Ship Andrew Wiggins over there. Get Keegan Murray. All that stuff. Yeah. We just want to go. We want the same player, man. That's all. That's all.
No, you want them.
You
'Cause
want him
you're
too.
greedy. You're greedy. He
Man, you
actually
got-
wants to be a Laker.
You got 2 of the best players on your team. Why would I not want another
And you don't
good
have
player?
2 of the best on yours?
I have 1 of the best players.
What? Draymond ain't one of the best? First ballot Hall of Famer.
Defense. He's one of the best defensive players.
That's still the best, Charlie. Don't change the name.
All around. All around. All around.
Anyway. I'm very curious to see what the big move is going to be, but doesn't it feel like, I think we can both agree to this, something big is going to happen. It feels like something big and transformative is about to happen. So I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
The last, I threw in an extra question because it's happening in real time. Raw is on Netflix as we speak right now, and it is so far been outstanding. From what I can tell, I haven't been able to hear any of it, but from a visual perspective, it looks fantastic. It's streaming perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that they're able to keep this going as well as they have.
I was kind of nervous with the Mike Tyson and ball. I was nervous.
Well, but I think they proved that they could fix all of the issues when they did the NFL broadcast.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, Christmas went without a hitch at all. So I think they fixed all of the real problems of streaming. And listen, them guys ain't slept since Tyson. The first time they will sleep will be tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get a good night's sleep tonight. But up until the end, they had no rest, none whatsoever.
Yeah. No, it's been good for sure. It's definitely
It's been fantastic. So, but I'm impressed. And to know that they have a worldwide audience now is wild to me.
Yeah. So got to see those numbers and see what the numbers.
Yeah. I mean, it is wild to me. So there you go. All right. Final question of the night. We're going to make some picks. And yeah, it says the games of the week, but we're picking more than 5 this week because we got a lot of games to get through. So we got the playoff game. So let's start with Penn State, Notre Dame. Who you got in this one?
I'm going with my man Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame.
I will concur. I just think at some point James Franklin is going to James Franklin that thing up. And
is he that bad?
I mean, it ain't been great. Shout out to Daniel Ross. Appreciate you, brother. Over on LinkedIn watching us. There you go. I ain't saying he's that bad. I'm just saying it ain't been that good. Right? So, Texas and Ohio State.
It's not hard for me. I'm going with Texas.
Wow. That Michigan shade is real, bro. That Michigan shade is real.
Even though it's going to be very cold during the game because it's supposed to be in the 20s.
Where are they playing it at? Where's the game at?
Jerry World.
Well, that shouldn't matter then. It's inside.
I mean, hey, they'll leave that thing open if they want to.
No, I don't think Jerry's gonna leave it open for something this big. I think it's gonna be. Give me Ohio State because I'm a realist. Give me Ohio State. All right, we're going to NFL. Chargers and the Texans.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I'm gonna go too because I just think the Texans are coming in too injured. They just aren't. They don't have all of their pieces, and I just don't think they're ready.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Steelers and the Ravens.
Going Ravens on this one.
Ravens?
Yep.
I think so too. I think the Ravens are trending 4 in a row. They're the opposite of what the Steelers are doing. The Steelers are coming in, losing 4 in a row. The Ravens are coming in, winning 4 in a row. And they're looking better and better each week. They didn't even play well this past week, and they looked outstanding.
Yeah.
So there you go. Broncos and Bills.
Bo Nix is good, but he's not that good. Going Buffalo.
All signs point to the Bills winning. It doesn't make sense to pick against the Bills in this game. Only a crazy man would pick the doggone Broncos. Having said all of that, call me crazy. I don't. There's something about this game that makes me feel like I don't know if Buffalo can pull this off.
Why
And
do
I
you
don't
say
know
that?
why. It's just a gut feeling. It's just a gut feeling. Let me see what the weather's gonna be. I'm curious to know what the weather's gonna be. Hold on.
They're both in cold atmosphere, so you think that's
right.
matter?
It won't matter to them about that part.
Yeah.
That which is another reason why it's gonna be 30 degrees. There's no snow. I don't think there's snow. I just feel like there's something about the Broncos defense. I don't know, man. I just get the sneaky suspicion. I'm gonna go Daniel Ross. You preaching over there, brother. You're right. But there's something about the Broncos, and I hate that. By the way, I don't want that to happen because I don't really want Sean Payton to win because of the way he treated Russell. But having said that, I just get the sneaky suspicion. I get the sneaky suspicion, brother.
So you think the fix is in?
I don't know about the fix, but I just think there's something about this game that says to me the Broncos might pull off the upset.
Yeah.
So there you go. Packers Eagles. That wild card round always has some weird game that goes weirdly wrong.
Is Jordan Love gonna play? Because I know he hurt himself.
I think he will. I can't imagine he's not gonna play.
This may turn out to be a good game, though.
Good.
I think Saquon will be still running wild on
arrested Saquon.
Yeah, I think he'll still be running wild on the Packers.
Yeah. I don't know. I get the sense that this might be a little too much for the Packers. It's not. They're still young. No, Watson is out. Looks like he's got an ACL tear. I just think it might be too much. They're close. They're not there yet.
Yeah.
They're not there yet. Give me the Eagles on that one. The Commanders and the Bucks.
I'm going Washington. I don't see it.
Too, man. I just think the Commanders are trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Jaden Daniels is playing at a level that you're just like, man, this dude is doing everything right. And I don't know if a moment gets too big for him. So give me Jaden in the Commanders.
Should Dan Quinn be coach of the year?
That's a great question. I don't know. A lot of great candidates for that. A lot of great candidates for that. I don't know. I think he's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
I think it's him. I think it's the Vikings coach, Kevin O'Connell, for sure, because nobody saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Vikings and Rams.
I'm going Vikings. I'm going Vikings.
I think the Vikings can beat the Rams. I don't know if they can make the run. But I think they can beat the Rams on Monday night. So,
yeah.
All right. But there it is. Those are our picks. Oh, it's breaking news. Chargers are going to sign Zeke Elliott for the playoff run.
Okay. Good luck.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I'll say it like you said.
Boy?
That's my Lloyd impersonation. Good luck.
That was spot on, brother. That was spot on.
Yeah.
Good luck. All right. Well, that's it, man. Who you shouting out?
Oh man, shouting out you for sure. No Cam in his absence. No praying for him and his family. Shouting out Reggie Reg. Man, I'm shouting out my little boy, man, back in the flag football mode and
Way to go, nephew.
didn't miss a beat. Scored another touchdown this week, so that's definitely fun to see. Also, man, I'm shouting out Marcus Freeman, man. After that first game, him losing the way they did to that team, man, and then he just came off and just rallied the troops, and now he's in the college football playoffs, chance to go to the national championship. Definitely salute you,
Good
sir.
chance.
Yeah, definitely salute you, sir. Man, shout out, all the WWE fans, man. This is crazy. Wrestling on Netflix, so
Yeah, it's wild. It really looks crazy to see Netflix on WWE on Netflix like this.
yeah,
It's wild, but it looks fantastic. It looks like they belong on Netflix.
exactly.
Like, why did it take so long? That's what it looks like. But anyway.
When you get 3 hours too.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. All your shout outs and my shout out. Let me start there.
I had another one, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I've just remembered. I'm sorry. You can go ahead. I'll come.
Go ahead.
Shout out to my Capricorn sisters, my big sister Tori and my other little sister Kaya on their birthdays.
Absolutely. Again, all my shout outs are your shout outs, so shout out to them. Shout out to the champions. This is a champion show. Put your rings up if you won your fantasy league. Some of us won the league back to back. Some of us won it back to back. 2 years in a row.
That's what you do, man.
I'm just saying, God is good. That's all I can say. God is good. Things have worked out. So, but nevertheless, this has been a fun season, fun run for both of us. I see why people don't wear these all the time. Though. This thing is heavy.
It is heavy.
Like, it's so heavy, and your head just be like, I'm tired. I don't want to keep holding this thing up.
I got used to it.
I'm kind of used to it, but it's still heavy. Like, I feel my right arm getting stronger, though.
I want me to walk out with it in public, and somebody say, "Oh, he must have played football."
I did.
He's like, I did.
You'd be correct, sir.
It's my Super Bowl ring.
You'd be correct, sir. So anyway, with that being said, shout obviously to you, and of course the Killer
Likewise.
and Reggie. We got some great surprises coming down the pipe, guys. Don't stay tuned. We got a lot of great stuff coming. It's gonna be a phenomenal year. I wish we could share everything today. We can't, but we will get into it. And yeah, just shout out to 2025. For real. Shout out to 2025. It's gonna be awesome.
Thanks.
With that being said, That is the incomparable Chad Major. I am Lloyd Spence. This is a champion show. Appreciate you. The 5.
Peace.
And we out. We really are out.
Five will get you 10 when I'm plugging in with the five. There's no mystery. Let's make history with the five. Oh, the strongest. 2 and 3. Add 1 more plus me and do the 5. Yeah. Keep it on the floor, and the funk plus 4, and you got 5. I said so 1 and 9 is 10, and there ain't no span on the 5. There's no denying it.